Fear is one of the strongest emotions we all face. It's natural, it's human, and it's something no one can completely avoid. But while fear itself is unavoidable, letting it control your life is a choice. Fear has stopped people from starting businesses, pursuing love, speaking up, chasing opportunities, or even living fully. Fear whispers, what if you fail? What if people laugh at you? What if you're not good enough? But here's the truth. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite fear. Becoming fearless doesn't mean you'll never feel afraid. It means fear no longer rules your decisions. It means your faith, your belief, and your determination are stronger than your doubts. In this message, we'll explore 8 powerful ways to become fearless. These are not abstract theories. They are practical, life-changing principles you can apply every day. By the end, you'll see that fear is not your enemy. It's an opportunity to rise stronger, braver, and more unstoppable than ever before. 1. Acknowledge your fear instead of denying it. The first step to becoming fearless is honesty. Too many people deny their fears or try to pretend they are stronger than they really feel. But denial only makes fear grow in the shadows. When you acknowledge your fears, you strip them of their power. Say to yourself, yes, I'm afraid of failure. Yes, I'm afraid of rejection. Yes, I'm afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone. Acknowledgement is not a weakness. It's a strength. Because only when you see your fear clearly can you begin to overcome it. Think about a child who's afraid of the dark. The fear is strongest when everything is hidden. But once the light is turned on, the child realizes there is nothing to be afraid of. The same is true for us to shine a light on your fears by naming them, and you'll discover they are not as powerful as they seemed. 2. Replace fear with knowledge. Fear thrives in uncertainty. When you don't know what's ahead, your mind imagines the worst-case scenario. But knowledge replaces fear with clarity. For example, many people fear public speaking, but the more you practice, the more you understand the process, and the less fearful it becomes. If you fear failure in business, study successful entrepreneurs. Learn how they failed and rose again. If you fear change, educate yourself about what's coming and prepare for it. Knowledge is power, and with every new thing you learn, fear loses its grip on you. The unknown creates fear, but the more you know, the more you grow. Arm yourself with knowledge, and you'll find that fear has no place in a prepared mind. 3. Take action, even when you feel fear. Here's a secret. Fearless people feel fear too. The difference is, they don't wait for fear to disappear before taking action. They move forward in spite of it. Action is the antidote to fear. When you sit and think about fear, it grows bigger. But the moment you take action, fear starts to shrink. Imagine standing at the edge of a swimming pool, afraid to jump in. The longer you wait, the scarier it feels. But the moment you leap, the fear disappears. The lesson? Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Start moving now. Fear loses its voice when you act boldly. 4. Reframe failure as feedback. One of the greatest sources of fear is the fear of failure. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every successful person you admire has failed, often more times than they succeeded. The difference is that they saw failure not as defeat, but as feedback. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10 zero ways that won't work. Every mistake taught him something new until he succeeded. If you want to be fearless, reframe failure as a teacher. Ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? How can I grow from this? When you see failure as feedback, you'll no longer be paralyzed by it. Instead, you'll embrace it as part of your journey. 5. Surround yourself with courageous people. Fear spreads, but so does courage. If you spend your time with people who always doubt, complain, and worry, their fear will rub off on you. But if you surround yourself with people who are bold, ambitious, and courageous, their energy will inspire you. Look at your circle. Do they push you forward or hold you back? Do they encourage you to take risks or convince you to play safe? A fearless mindset is easier to build when you're surrounded by fearless people. Find mentors, friends, or communities that lift you higher. Courage is contagious and catches it from those who already live it. 6. Visualize success. Instead of failure, fear is often fueled by imagination. You imagine yourself failing, being rejected, or making mistakes. But what if you use that same imagination to visualize success? Close your eyes and picture yourself succeeding, delivering that speech with confidence, starting that business, and thriving, walking boldly into the room and owning your space. Visualization trains your brain to expect success instead of fearing failure. Athletes use this technique all the time. Before a race, they don't imagine tripping and falling, they imagine crossing the finish line first. Your mind is powerful. Feed it positive images, and fear will fade. 7. Strengthen your faith and inner belief. Fear is loudest when faith is weakest. To become fearless, you must build a strong foundation of belief in yourself, in your purpose, and for many, in God. Faith reminds you that even when things are uncertain, you are not alone. When you trust that life has a purpose, that your struggles are shaping you, and that you are capable of more than you know, fear loses its power. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" faith asks, "But what if I succeed?" A fearless heart is a faithful heart. Whether through prayer, meditation, affirmations, or scripture, feed your faith daily, and you'll find fear cannot control you. 8. Keep practicing courage daily. Becoming fearless is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. You build courage the same way you build muscle, by exercising it consistently. Start small. Speak up in a meeting. Say no when you need to. Try something new you've never done before. Every time you practice courage, you weaken fear's grip. Over time, you'll look back and realize that things that once terrified you now feel natural. Fear never disappears completely, but you grow so strong that it can no longer stop you. Fear says, "You can't." Courage replies, "Watch me." And the more you practice, the more your courage becomes your default response to life. Finally, fear is a part of life, but it doesn't have to control your life. To become fearless, acknowledge your fears. Replace them with knowledge. Take bold action. Reframe failure. Surround yourself with courage. Visualize success. Strengthen your faith and practice courage daily. Remember, being fearless doesn't mean you'll never feel afraid. It means you've learned how to master fear instead of being mastered by it. The moment you stop letting fear dictate your choices, you unlock your true power. You are stronger than your doubts, braver than your fears, and more capable than you realize. Step into your life boldly. because everything you've ever wanted is waiting for you on the other side of fear. And if this message inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to Motivational Dose for more empowering content. God bless you, and keep rising fearless.